My name is Erica Watts, and I'm a first year, and I live in Watson Webb. This was pretty early on in the process of like pretty much everything, every quarantine experience. I went to lunch with a girl who like later that night got tested, and she tested positive. And my roommate and I kind of like, we don't really know what to do, so I called a bunch of people. Nobody was really helpful. And I was on the phone like all day with everyone trying to figure out where I'm gonna go. And I finally got a hold of someone and they said I'm gonna be sent to the Hampton Inn. Like going there, just that whole process of like figuring out where to go was really stressful and like not straightforward like they seemed it would be. I didn't get food for like probably 24 hours. We didn't know if like we could go outside, like just for like a walk, like around the parking lot. And so I had to like email them and was like, can you just please let me go outside? Like I don't want to be inside all day. And they finally were like, yeah, you can go out once for like 15 minutes. So we were just like, you'd see like people taking laps around the parking lot, just walking.
Things about my university quarantine meal plan that just make sense. No food.
So I like went into quarantine with a goal. I was like, I'm getting TikTok famous from this. Like this is my goal. And it didn't happen and I was really upset about it. But I was just kind of like thinking of ideas. It was like also kind of how like Virginia, my roommate, and I like stayed mentally here, was being like, oh my god, I thought of a good TikTok idea. Like FaceTime each other being like, I thought of a good TikTok idea. Quarantine literally sucked. And like, I guess it was kind of an eye-opening experience of being like, I don't want to get sent back here. So like, I need to make sure that I'm staying safer and like being smarter with like my decisions and just things like that.
I'm Jacob Moore, and I'm a first year. Almost my entire floor got sent to quarantine at the exact same time. The quarantine experience was fine. What was not fine was the process of getting me there. It I have been wanting to talk about this actually. It was, I think, handled horribly and so disorganized because I was on the phone for hours with like 10 different people, everyone giving me different instructions. There was seemed to be no communication between these different like people I was talking to, where no one seemed to know what I was supposed to do. And that became really frustrating for me because to me, I was like, well, I'm not the one who you're supposed to tell me what to do. But here I am, being on the phone from 12 in the afternoon to, 7:30 at night trying to work all this stuff out. And get this sense of kind of like almost just dystopian, like what is going on.
My name is Elise Ebert, and I am a first year. I got contact traced by my friend, and we were studying in the lounge, like in a lounge together without masks. And honestly, like, kind of glad that I went, just because I was so exhausted from school, and just gave me a chance to totally focus on school, and also just like kind of relax and have my own space for a little bit. Like, wouldn't want to do it again because that's just too much time away from my friends, but the 10 days were kind of a nice reset for me. I used to think they were doing a really good job, but lately I realized there's just very little accountability for students. Like, I know kids who like just don't go get tested, and there's no accountability for that. Kids who got contact traced and just don't go to quarantine, because there's no one enforcing it and there's no like check-in. So that's a little bit scary to me.
I would say in terms of quarantine, like I mentioned, I think that they need to streamline the process, and I think that they need to communicate more clearly to the students like how the process works. I think it's definitely important that there's a bit more transparency with like how quarantine works, like and how you're supposed to get there and who's supposed to tell you what to do.